So every time I go to play D&D, I usually get super into it and I just I want a nice fantasy feeling, D&D feeling cloak. So I decided to make that. So this week we're gonna do the GM cloak, but make it fashion. So this is what I sketched up. And then I'm going to use this, I think, for the base of it because it's got the right sleeves. And I'll just flare all of it out and do a center front closure. For the hood, there's a lace mantle in here. And I'm going to use the hood out of that. There. This guy. So let's get into it. So I just finished cutting out all the pieces and realized I did not cut the center back piece on the fold. Or I didn't cut the back piece on the fold. It's not the end of the world. I can just put a center back seam along the selvage, but it's one of those annoying things. At least the material is stretchy, so it's fine. Like, oh, just, you know when you make those really dumb mistakes, you just kind of think you could have averted this if you just thought through twice. And oh well. So, last night I did a bit of sewing. I started filming it like the sleeve, but I pretty much sewed this together without filming. It's difficult because it's stretchy fabric and then it's also on the bias and two bias pieces together. So some of the seams are a little bit puckery, which I'm not thrilled with, but you kind of can't tell because it's gathered fabric and it's not the end of the world because at least this is mostly meant to be just sort of a lounge piece. But I've got the front and back connected. My plan is to be able to wear a belt kind of thing. I've got the sleeves stitched up with a French seam, which I think worked a lot better. But again, this is straight grain to straight grain. There's still a little bit of puckering, you can see. I did press this seam as well as two of the seams on here. I was going to show you the difference, but I'll be honest, I can't really tell. So, you know, we're here now. So this will just connect on like so. And then we'll do a cuff that has buttons down the side to just make that poof a bit, which I'm excited. So let's attach these sleeves on, then draft a hood, sort out the hem, and then the cuffs, which will probably be the most fiddly bit. And speaking of the cuff, because the detail feature that I want is buttons, I was looking at sort of different ways that people have done sheer cuffs. My first plan of attack was to have contrast, so using an iron-on interfacing and then a solid fabric underneath, which I thought this shiny fabric could be okay. But then I realized I have some of this stiffer tulle, which isn't stretchy. It does have, I mean, it's tulle, so it just has a bit of give. And it's terrible in this direction, but it does have a tiny bit of give. I want to do one going one direction and the other going the other direction, so hopefully it gives it stability all around the cuff. And then we'll draft the hood to be sort of like a mantle hood, and that should be great. Our hood pattern piece gets folded in half at the point where we had it meet. So next to the selvage section, we're going to attach that to the hood. Then up this back section, we sew just up to the pin that I placed along this line here. Then to create the nice rounded shaping, we're going to gather the back here, creating a nice, lovely drapey hood. was the GM robe, but make it fashion. I'm actually super happy with how this turned out. It looks super cute. I think the only thing is it's really hard to get these buttons through, which is why I only did the first two, because then once I hit the D8, it just didn't want to go through. I would have rather done elastic along the edge here, but other than that, I'm still impressed. I got buttonholes through this. They absolutely started stuffing up on this side, so it was a slight blessing that I couldn't get these ones through, but I only needed to undo those two so that the tighter bit of the cuff is loose enough to get through. Other than that, it's totally fine. Sorry, it's early morning, so there's birds everywhere. The birds. I was really worried at points throughout this, and I thought it was going to turn out horribly, but I'm actually really happy with how it turned out. It does hang out loosely without a belt, so you absolutely can use it as more of a thing. And even in like a fleecy fabric, if you live somewhere cold, I've got these silk swatches, and I was like, oh, this would be beautiful in like soft silky fabric as well, or like a fleecy fabric if you want to be warm, or velvet. Yes, I might make another one at some point. If you like this video and you want to see more content that's sort of crafty with sometimes a D&D twist, I've been pretty good consistently at the moment. I've got a lot of ideas. I am aiming to post videos every week, so if you would like to, feel free to subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this week's video, and I will see you next week. Bye!